So we'll find out the phasor relationship between voltage and current in case of an AC circuit containing number 1 resistor only, number 2 capacitor only, number 3 inductor only, and number 4 when all the three are connected in series across and a AC is connected across them. So first of all, if I take a resistor over here and I connect an alternating supply, AC supply over here. So what can I say? This AC supply is equals to E naught sine of omega t. And this resistance is suppose is R. So obviously we can say this is the instantaneous EMF. And if I try to find out the current over here, you know that from Ohm's law we can say, and of course the potential difference across this resistor will be equals to VR, and that is equals to I into R. So from here I can say that I is equals to E naught or epsilon naught divided by R into sine of omega t. So E naught by R is equals to I naught, that is the peak current. So this is equals to I naught sine omega t. So from here what we can say, that we have got the equation of I as I naught sine omega t and the equation of E as E naught sine omega t. So from here it is very much clear that both E and I are in actually same phase. So if I try to draw the graph between E and E versus omega t, or E versus t, or I versus t, so we can draw it in the same graph, something like this. Suppose this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. I take the over here something like this we can take. If I just try to draw it over here, so obviously I say that this is your, suppose your EMF and this is your time. So we can say this is your EMF varying with time sinusoidally like this. And this value is actually your peak value of the EMF. We have already seen that. Now if I want to draw the current over here, how the current will look like? If I draw with a different color, so this will be the following the same pattern, but only thing it will be having something like this. So this is how the current can be shown over here. So this is very, very important. So you can see, show the current like this. Is it clear to all of you? So this is how the current can be shown. So we can draw this. This is actually the variation of current, and this is your EMF. With time we are trying to find. So if I just draw the phasor diagram over here, so we can draw the phasor diagram something like this. Suppose if I want to draw the phasor diagram over here, the phasor diagram will look like this. So this is your, for example, this is your EMF and this is your current. The green one I can show you as the EMF, and the red one is the current, and both at any instant has got an angle of omega t. So this is the, if I just try to draw it over here, this will be equals to the I naught, and this will be the, if I just try to draw this part, so this will be your E naught. So this is the phasor diagram. So this is the phasor diagram and for resistive circuit, and this is your graph. So children, always try to understand the difference between the graph. Here graph is actually we are trying to find out the variation of E or I with respect to t, and in the phasor diagram we are trying to show the position or the state of EMF and current at any instant. So this is the phasor diagram of the concept, that is circuit containing only resistor. So this is circuit containing only resistor. So this is very, very important, with only resistor. So this is the circuit containing only resistor. So next I move on to the circuit containing only R. Now we move on to the circuit containing inductor only. Circuit containing inductor only. Inductor only. So circuit containing inductor only. So let me just draw the circuit for you. So let me draw the circuit. Suppose this is your inductor and this inductor is connected across an alternating supply of E is equals to E naught sine of omega t. So this is circuit containing inductor only. So you know that over here a back EMF according to the Faraday's law is always set up, and let me write it as VL, and that VL will be equals to minus of L di by dt. And what is L? L is the inductance. L is the inductance that we have already discussed before. So VL is equals to minus of L di by dt. So we can say using the concept of Kirchhoff's law that over here we can say that E plus VL or EMF plus this potential difference is equals to 0. So this would be equals to E minus L di by dt. This will be equals to 0. So we can say that E is equals to L di upon dt. So this is E equals to L di by dt. So in this case, L di by dt will be equals to E. So we can say di is equals to E. And what is E, children? E is equals to E naught sine of omega t. So this is equals to E naught sine of omega t into dt divided by L. So we integrate both sides. So if I integrate both sides, so what shall I get? This is 0 to I. And let me not put the limit over here. So you can just understand over here. If I don't put the limit, I will be just seeing the constant also. So let me just do that way. So integration of di is I. And what is the integration of sine omega t? Integration of sine omega t is minus cos omega t. So this will be equal to minus cos omega t by omega. And I will put a integral constant over here as c. So I is equals to, therefore you will get minus E naught by omega L cos of omega t plus c. Now for this part, what should be the value of the integral constant? Now this is, you can see the EMF is basically a sinusoidal EMF. So in that case the current is also sinusoidal, and over a complete cycle you have seen that the value of the total value is equals to 0. So since these are all periodic types or sinusoidal types, so that's why over a complete cycle their value is equals to 0. So that's why we take C is equals to 0. In that case, so what we will get? The instantaneous current. Instantaneous current, therefore you will be getting as, so this instantaneous current will be, therefore you will be getting as minus E naught by omega L cos of omega t. And this can also be written as, therefore what can I write this? So this can be also written as cos of omega t, and this cos of omega t I will just move on to over here. So this will be minus E naught by omega L. Cos of omega t can be written as sine of pi by 2 minus omega t. So if I multiply the minus over here, sine of pi by 2 minus omega t. So if I multiply the minus over here, so I'll get E naught by omega L sine of omega t minus pi by 2. So this is your I, very, very important. So I is equals to E naught by omega L, that is sine of omega t minus pi by 2. So we can say, very, very interesting concept that we have got over here. So you can just see over here. Here I is equals to, therefore I naught sine of omega t minus pi by 2. Here I naught is equals to E naught by omega L, and this omega L is also known as XL, that is called inductive reactance. This is known as inductive reactance. So very, very important term, inductive reactance, and it has got also the unit as ohm. So if I just write it over here, XL is the inductive reactance that is equals to omega L, that is equals to 2 pi Fl. So a very, very interesting concept we have got over here. And you can also see over here that I is equals to I naught sine of, I have already written over here, omega t minus pi by 2. So in this case, I you have got as I naught sine of omega t minus pi by 2, and E was equals to E naught sine omega t. So from this it is very much clear that here I lags E by pi by 2. I lags E by pi by 2. So this is very, very important. So over here in a circuit containing pure inductor, you can say the potential leads current by pi by 2. So if I just quickly try to show you the graph, so this graph will be something like this. So this is the graph between the EMF and the current, and we always try to draw the graph for both. So this will be the EMF, this is varying sinusoidally with t, and for the current you have already seen it is lagging behind it. If I try to draw over here, this current will be something like this. So the current will be actually following this pattern. So you can see there is a lagging of E over here. So I can say that this is your E and this is your, the green one is actually your I. The variation of I, that is E or I with time, can be shown. This is the graphical representation. Now if I try to show the phasor representation, that I have shown already with the concept of, when I was discussing the concept of pure resistor. So it can also be shown like that in case of this. So this is your phasor diagram I wanted to show. Suppose this is your EMF. So this is your EMF over here, and how the current can be shown, because current was already lagging behind. So I can show the current something like this. So this is your current, suppose. So this is your current. So EMF and current, you can see over here, they are having a phase difference of pi by 2. So this is your current. So this is your EMF. So if I try to write down this, so this is your EMF and this is your current, and they have got a phase difference, you can see very well, of pi by 2. So this is very, very important concept. So we can see over here that suppose if I take the current in this axis like this, the potential will be actually leading current in case of pure inductor by pi by 2. So if I try to draw it once again for resistor also, if this is your current, the potential and the current will be actually in the same phase. So I can show like this also. So this is the phasor relationship, and you can obviously show over here, this is the value of E naught, and this can be shown as the value of I. So I think it's very much clear to everybody regarding this part. That is, in case of pure inductor, V leads current by